Hey everybody, Joker here. I'm going to show you 5 different AFK key farms you can use for the trial chambers that I am quite proud of. So let's get started. This is the skeleton spawner from a trial chamber. It uses lava to kill and a piston to push them in. Here's everything you'll need to build this farm. It doesn't have to be copper blocks though. It can be 16 of any type of solid block. This, however, does need to be a see-through block, so glass, leaves, or grates. When building this farm, you want to make sure that there is half slabs or nothing within a 4-block radius of the spawner itself. If it can see it, it will spawn it. All right, what you're going to want to do is go 2 blocks down from the spawner, and in the front right here, you'll put your chest or barrel. Behind that, we'll go ahead and put our hopper. Remove this block as well. Go ahead and put your rail here. A block on either side so that the minecart that we put right here won't go flying off on either direction. From there, we'll go ahead and put our 5 pieces of glass or see-through blocks just like this. Then behind the spawner, we'll go ahead and put 1 block down as a temporary block. We'll go ahead and put our piston here and our observer facing this way. We'll go ahead and put a block behind that. We'll get rid of this block under the piston. We'll go ahead and put a string right in front. We'll go of the observer. We'll put a redstone behind the observer. And then all we got to do is block this all in just like this. Put a couple down here as well. We'll go ahead and add our minecart hopper right here underneath the spawner. And last but not least, we just need to add our kill, which is right here, lava. And that's it. This is the husk or zombie spawner from a trial chamber. It's a very simple design that uses a piston to push the spawn into a pit of lava. The trap door is there to lure any baby zombies into the lava, as the piston won't get triggered by the too high string. Here's everything you need to build this farm. It doesn't have to be copper blocks. It can be any type of solid block. Any trap door will work, and any type of see-through block, leaves, glass, or grates. You'll also need at least 1 egg. I have 4 here, but you only really need 1. Just like the other builds, we're going to start 2 blocks underneath the spawner. We'll put our chest or barrel in the front there. We'll go ahead and put our hopper underneath the spawner, going directly into the collection. We'll put rail on top of the hopper and a block on either side of the rail. Then we'll go ahead and place our minecart hopper underneath the spawner just like that. Next, we'll place 3 solid blocks just like this. We'll place our lava in the center. Then we'll put our see-through blocks or grates, glass, leaves, whatever, just in the same configuration. We'll put our trap door on the front facing clear block and close it. Then we'll place an egg right on top of that see-through block. After that, we'll put a temporary block behind the spawner. We'll put our piston on top of that block facing the egg. Then we'll go ahead and place a block behind the piston, our observer on top of the piston, redstone behind the observer, and string in front of the observer. Next, we'll finish it off with our solid blocks on all sides and 1 more on top of the egg. And remember that anything that the spawner can see within a 4-block radius is where it will spawn, so make sure that there is nothing around it and you're good to go. This is the breeze farm. The breeze farm is completely encased with no visible way of seeing the spawner except through this front porthole. The reason being is that the spawner only needs to see an area or space around it in order to spawn. It works very simply, just like the other ones, where the spawn happens on top and the piston gets triggered and pushes it into the lava. Here's everything you need for this build. Half a stack of any solid block will do. It doesn't have to be copper. And the copper slabs or any slab is optional. Just like the other farms, we'll start off 2 blocks underneath the spawner. We'll put a chest in the front of those 2 blocks. We'll get rid of those, put a hopper into the chest, and put a rail on top of the hopper. Then we'll go ahead and place 2 blocks on either side of the rail and our minecart on that rail. We'll put a 3rd block behind the rail cart there. We'll put another block on top of that one behind the spawner. On top of that block, we'll put the piston. And on top of the piston, we'll put our observer facing forward. Behind the piston, we'll put another block with redstone on top of that. And in front of the observer, we'll put a piece of string. We're going to add a small container here for our lava pit, just like that. And lastly, we're going to be placing blocks all the way around the spawner, except for this front part, because that is where our viewing port will be. But we're going to want to make sure that we have it at least 4 blocks out and 2 blocks above. And finally, to make sure that none of the breeze get out, we'll go ahead and put 2 more blocks on top. And that's it. You're done. This is the Silverfish spawner from a trial chamber. It works very easy with no redstone. The silverfish spawn, see the stone block, and immediately try to get there, but get tricked and fall into the lava and die. Here's everything you need for this build. Any type of solid block will be great instead of the copper here, and any type of see-through block like glass or leaves will also work here as well. And any trap door. You definitely have to make sure that you do have 1 stone block though. Just like the other farms, we do 2 blocks underneath the spawner with a container in the front. We'll go ahead and put a hopper into the container and a rail on top of the hopper. We'll go ahead and put the block on either side of the rail and a minecart hopper on top of that. Next, we'll go ahead and put a trap door on the front of the spawner and close that. We'll make our little container for the lava to be placed right next to the minecart and on top of the container. After that, we'll grab our see-through blocks just like this and put all 5 down in a U shape. We'll go ahead and put a wall of 3 solid blocks going around the either side here, and then in the front we'll put 1 stone block just like that so that it is 2 blocks away from the spawner. This gives room for the silverfish to spawn and attempt to get to the stone block, but instead fall directly into the lava. After that, we'll go ahead and place blocks on the top to cover it up and 1 on the back. And that's it. These are the spider and slime spawners from a trial chamber. They are both essentially the same, except the slime is 3 blocks tall, whereas the spider one is only 1 block tall. These work in a way that allows the spawn to happen on top of a block that can be lit on fire. Netherrack or soul sand works for both of these. Here's what you'll need for the build. You can choose between either 9 netherrack or 9 soul sand. Regardless, you need to have a block that can stay lit on fire. Like all of the farms, we start with 2 blocks underneath the spawner. We put our container in the front there with a hopper going into that, a rail on top of the hopper, and a block on either side of the rail. Next, we'll go ahead and put our minecart on top of that. Next, we'll do 9 blocks of netherrack or soul sand going out to the front like this. Next, we'll do our clear block, which could be glass or grates or leaves in this case. We're going to go ahead and use grates. I'm just going to go ahead and do 9 blocks going around the circle like that. We'll do a solid block on either side of the spawner with another one on the top and making a kind of a bridge. Before we build any further, we'll go ahead and add our fire. We can go ahead and do all of this, or you could just do the center one. It doesn't matter. If you're building the spider spawner, you'll go ahead and put your lid on it right here, so it's only a 1 block gap for the spiders to spawn. If you're doing a slime spawner, you'll want to go 2 blocks up from the glass block like this. And that's it. With all of these AFK farms, you want to make sure that there is no spawnable space within a 4 block radius of the spawner. I hope these tutorials help you in your journey of getting as many keys as possible in the trial chambers. And if you have any questions or tips, please let me know down in the comments below, as I have been working my butt off trying to figure out everything I possibly can with the trial chambers. I have learned so much and have discovered everything and really consider myself kind of a master, if I do say so myself. Okay, that's it. Bye.